All right, guys, it is segment 2. We are here, and honestly, we are thinking kind of the theme of today is understand what you don't know and try and figure it out and really pull more value out of it. Because I think a lot of times landlords like Mike, myself, we might get a little bit set in our path because it works well. We optimize it at one time. The question is, how do we optimize it from here? So Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time was awesome enough to make himself available to have this amazing conversation about coming rental units and not necessarily following the same path that we've always have, trying to get them onto market. So when I say that, Mike, what does that instantly kind of bring to mind for you? Because I know you use a property manager. So what does that bring to you and what conversations are you having with them?
Yeah. So most people think either cash paying or if they get, if they're maybe a step further, they think Section 8. But we have to realize that housing, shelter is one of those very important things. And over the years, there are lots of programs that come about. Like one that most recently happened in California is we had wildfires. And the last season they were in around the Central Valley, pretty bad. So there were actually programs created to help rehouse folks that unfortunately lost shelter because of these horrific fires. Yeah. And these programs are created in an environment where they know shelter is scarce, right? We don't have extra units. So what will happen is they will likely be above normal. They will double deposits. They realize that landlords, most of them are money motivated, right? So I remember my property manager getting a notice. I don't remember the program name, but I'll just call it Fire X, right? And they had 10 families that needed to be housed in a week. They were going to be out of the hotel that they were in from the Red Cross. And they were willing to pay 2x rent and they would sign a year lease. And if you wanted, they would pay all up front, right? This was the program, not the family. So again, there are other things that come around. There are churches that will occasionally do events and help people. There are, sometimes there are immigration things going on where they will move families in. So there are, when you're a landlord, you got to remember you have one of this, it's water, food, shelter. And it's not a bad idea to let folks around you know that you have shelter. And if you have a unit coming available, like there's a 30-day notice and they're leaving, you can look around and sometimes you can help someone in need. And typically that helps your bottom line as well.
Yeah. So a great point, Mike. I mean, all the way across. I mean, this is something that, again, with COVID having happened last year, with the number of houses that are selling right now that we're seeing sell and people saying, yeah, we're giving you the 60-day, hey, we're selling and you need to get out. We're seeing more of that than we've ever seen before. And so all of these programs are inundated with this. So I look at housing, and housing is run by the county, but the 3 towns that I do with, all of them have these massively long waiting lists where people are trying to get into them, number one. Number two is literally if I had 200 more units tomorrow, I could be rented in 30 days with all those folks.
Oh, easy. Yeah. I mean, certainly. Yeah. My property manager told me, this is probably a month old, but I'm sure it's still true. And you remember, this property manager I have is no joke. I think they manage 15,000 units.
Yeah.
Which is really big for a property manager. It might be 10,000, but anyways, guess how long their list is of single family homes? Again, let's assume 15,000. Right. No, list of single family homes of like ready to rent in the next 30 days.
No idea.
3.
Shh.
3. They usually have pages. In this environment, they have a whopping 3.
Wow.
Section 8. So I just had a 1 bedroom, 1 bath come available. There, so it's just a know nothing 1 bedroom, 1 bath. They have 37 people waiting housing vouchers for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. We have a supply problem, folks, not a demand problem. I keep telling you. I tried to solve the demand problem with 8 units in the state of California, made me lose 30 grand a unit. Not happening. Just slap 1 unit ADU instead. It helps 1 person instead of 8, but whatever.
Mike, when you say it that way, it just sounds so stupid.
Oh, it's so stupid. Yes, so, not today.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it and again, we're not trying to take advantage, but we are trying to leverage the asset that we have and do our best for us, right? And
Again,
also solve a need in the market. Like if they're not, like their other option is be homeless.
yeah, or stay in a hotel or move in with, I mean, again, the hierarchy of needs is very simple. Water, if you don't have it, you die first. Food is next, and shelter, right? And we're providing shelter. We provide safe, secure housing. We are not slumlords. I spend lots of money proving that every year.
Yeah.
But occasionally, via situations that are none of my making, people reach out and say, we need it now, and we'll pay double.
Yeah.
If I have something available, why shouldn't I say yes to that? I didn't ask for double. I didn't market for double. They called me.
That's exact. And they were thrilled to find you.
Oh, you know, you have no idea the sheer joy and jubilation that comes on the other side of that phone or conversation. Right. Really? You've got one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where do we sign? We'll take it. Sight unseen.
Yeah. And here's the crazy thing for us, we recognize it's a short-term program, but we want to help the people out. Number one.
Awesome. I'm signing up for a turn.
Yeah.
Exactly. Again, they move in for a year. So this is not necessarily good for me. A turn in my houses are between $2,000 and $4,000.
Right. Yep.
Usually my houses are 8-year stays.
Yep.
So I'm signing up to have a turn because, again, ideally they will move into their home once it's rebuilt with insurance money. Sure. Is it a year? Is it 18 months? I don't know, but they are a known vacancy or turnover.
That's right.
Within 2 years. It's okay. I mean, it's just, you have no idea how it feels to just hear somebody so happy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I would strongly encourage folks, and the answers are that fast. Literally, I had somebody look at something at 2:00 yesterday afternoon. At 2:30, I got a call from the case manager saying, we'll take it, send me over the lease, we'll sign for 18 months. Does that work? And I was like, we haven't even talked about the pricing yet.
We'll pay $1,750.
Yeah, we'll pay $1,750. Okay, I can do it for that. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So like you said, I think what's really interesting though is that people say, oh, well, you're just landlords gouging the system. No. We're signing up. Number one, we're meeting a need. Number two is we're signing up knowing that they're going to be a shorter term tenant than 95% of our units. Yeah. We know that.
Yeah. Again, I want people to hear that. I'm signing up for $4,000 in expenses that normally I wouldn't have.
Yep.
Do the math. It's not necessarily a win-win, right? Yeah. I'm going to be about break even, right? If they come in and they damage the unit, which is possible,
100%,
I could come out on the losing end, but I believe in good karma and I'll take that bet.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a matter of helping people. So before you take that unit and just throw it on the market haphazardly and say, hey, let's just make it available to the masses only in that one place, do yourself a favor. Call a few places first. Call your local housing authority. Call relocation at your hospital. That's a big one because I do a lot of stuff with healthcare. Call the relocation department in your hospital, HR, and they say, yeah, we've got people all the time that are coming in that are moving from other areas and they need a place to rent. And obviously they'll pay a significant premium. Traveling nurses. These are all areas where you can possibly leverage the unit that you have, get far more for income. And worst case is it might be a break even or you only make a little bit more, but best case is you might make significantly more than what you were going to, but you're also helping and meeting a need.
Yeah.
Which is
it's a great feeling.
Certainly something that Mike and I are big proponents of. Mike, any other thoughts on kind of flexibility and kind of what people should be doing if they have a unit come available now?
No, I just want you to realize that as a landlord, whether you have one or dozen or hundreds of units, you're supplying a need that is very critical. And frankly, if there's any truth to the renter nation idea coming, which I don't believe in, but probably will move that direction, meaning more renters, it's going to become more and more demand because we're clearly not building enough units, certainly at least not in California, given the new numbers, cost and taxes, nonsense, but it is what it is. So be a good person.
Yeah. And honestly, Mike, for you and I, talking our book would be Renter Nation.
Yeah, exactly.
You and I completely disagree, not with each other on that, but with the market on that. I don't think we become a Renter Nation. No. I think that we become, stay around the same historical rates, but people buying different assets like multifamily.
Yeah.
Or 1, 2, 3,
house
4.
hacking. Yeah. Right. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
The cheat code to wealth. Yeah.
Yep. I think that becomes much more of a thing in the next few years, which will push the pricing there. Cause I think that the single family home for the foreseeable future is probably not realistic for a good portion. Like we always talk about the affordability index, even in your market, 40% of people or 42% of people can afford a median priced house.
Yeah, good memory.
In my market, it's 9.
Yeah.
It's 9.
Yeah.
So-
And what that means for most people to understand is it's more affordable to buy a house in my market than his. That's what those numbers mean, simply said.
Far more affordable. That's why Mike's buying single families and I haven't been able to touch one for 2 years or 3
Hot.
years.
Hot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's fun, but it's also a nightmare. Like and here's the thing, you have to be disciplined and sell into that.
Yeah,
married to the
read my
asset.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I plan to buy and hold forever, but if my prices get stupid, I'll sell. If you don't know what stupid is, look at my affordability index video from Thursday in the Three Amigos. We go through, what was that, 40 years of data?
Yeah, 40.
It's all right there.
Mike, where can we find you so they can see that awesome video?
One rental at a time. YouTube, website, book, Instagram. Good
Books,
stuff.
books.
Gotta say books.
If you're going to write them and I got to read them, you got to say books. Mike, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. As we always do, we create great content for you guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and also 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday, 3 hours live stream, your questions, my answers. 11 a.m. on One Rental at a Time. He goes a full hour there and then goes into his Facebook private group. And then Dion Talk, he does 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock West Coast time on Tuesdays. Honestly, if you watch those few hours of TV or few hours of YouTube content in the course of a week, you know exactly what's going on in the market and what other landlords are experiencing, which is the best way to stay on top of your game.
It's the real stuff. It's not
It is.
fear and nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, and no pretty slides.
No, please. No graphs. Oh,
Yeah.
no graphs.
No
Damn it.
graphs. Yeah, no graphs, no crafts, nothing, none of the above, and not from our mother's basement. Mike, thanks so much for the time. See you in segment 3.